Welcome. So in this part of the video, we're going to go through this question here, which says, find the equation of the quadratic passing through, and then we've been given these points right here. Now, the first thing that we have to appreciate here is that these points are random points, or in other words, they're arbitrary points. Now, what I mean by that is that we definitely know that they're not x-intercepts. We know they're not x-intercepts because the y values are not 0. Now, are they turning points? Potentially, but we don't know. So from our perspective, they're just random points. So if you're given random points, the general form of the quadratic that you're going to use is this: ax squared plus bx plus c. Once you've done that, you've written down that rule, you're then going to sub in each of these points into this rule here. So you're going to take this rule, this point right here, and sub it in. So that means my y will be 8, and then my x's, I'm going to put 1 in there. So I'm going to put 1 into my x spot, I'm going to put 1 into my x spot plus c. That means what this is going to be is 8 is equal to a plus b plus c. And then we just continue along these lines. So next I have this point right here. So I'm going to put a -2 into my y spot, and then into my x spot I'm going to put a -1. So I'm going to put -1 in there. I'm going to put -1 in there, plus c. So that means I'm going to get -2 is equal to, now -1 squared is just 1, so I'm going to get a, but then I'm going to get -b plus c. Then the next one that I'm going to get is this point right here. So I'm going to put an 8 into my y spot, and then I'm putting a 2 into my x spot. So I'm going to put 2 there, squared plus b, 2 plus c. Which means I'm going to end up with 8 is equal to 2 squared is 4a plus 2b plus c. Perfect. Once we've done that, what I'm now going to do is use my CAS calculator, because what I've created here are simultaneous equations. So we're going to solve the simultaneous equations. We're going to solve the simultaneous equations with the CAS. So if you were ever given 3 arbitrary points and asked to find the quadratic, you would be given your CAS calculator as well. So let's now give this a go. We're going to come over here and I'm going to sub these points in, or sub these equations in, and see how we go. So let's come over here, move that a bit more. Menu, algebra, solve system of equations. First one, solve system of equations. There are 3 equations, 1, 2, 3. My unknowns, or my variables, are a, b, and c. So I'm going to come over here, I'm going to go a, b, and c. I hit OK. I now am going to type each of these out. So my first one is a is equal to a plus b plus c. My next one is -2 is equal to a minus b plus c. My next one is a is equal to 4a plus 2b plus c. That's all good. We now hit enter, and I'm going to get my answer out. So there are my values of a. So now I can come over here, and I can replace, wait, if I just come here for a second, wait, I'm going to have to do this. I know what my a is, my b is, and my c is. So I can say y is equal to -5 on 3 x squared plus 5x plus 14 on 3. So all I did there is in my a spot, I replaced it with -5 on 3. In my b spot, I replaced it with 5. In my c spot, I replaced it with 14 on 3. There is my answer right there. Now, before we move on, I actually want to show you a quicker way you could have put this into your CAS calculator. So we did it this way just to show you what's going on, but let me now show you a quicker way to do it. Because what we ideally would want to do, if we were running low on time, is skip this step right here. How could we skip this step doing it by hand? I don't want to do this step by hand. Surely my CAS can sub in values for me. And it absolutely can. So let's go through how you would do this all on your CAS calculator. So you've given these 3 random points and you're asked to find the quadratic rule. Well, we're going to start off the same way. We're going to go menu. We're going to go solve system of equations. The first one there, we still have 3 equations and we're still solving it for a, b, and c. We hit OK. But now, instead of writing down this, because this is when I subbed it in by hand first, instead what I'm going to write is y is equal to, then I'm going to go a, now it's very important that you hit the times button here, times x squared, and then plus b times x plus c. So I'm writing down the actual rule. So y is equal to a times x squared plus b times x plus c. And now what I'm going to do is go control equals such that, and I'm going to actually put in my point. So x is equal to 1, and my other point is y is equal to 8. Now you're actually going to have to type in here space a n d space y is equal to 8. And there it is right there. So there's the rule. And then I'm saying sub in x is equal to 1 and y is equal to 8. What you want to do now is copy this line. To do that, hold down shift and use the arrow key that way. Now on the computer, I have to just do that. Once you've got it all highlighted, go control C. That's pasting, that's copying rather. Then you want to paste it, you go control V and it pastes it down. Now the reason why we've done that is because for my next one, well, my y is equal to -2 and my x is equal to -1. So I can come over here and I can just put a negative in front of that. And then you want to do it again. You want to copy this. So remember shift and then just use your arrow keys to highlight it. Control C to copy, control V to paste it. Then lastly, I've got 8 and 2. So I've got 8 here and I've got 2 there. I hit enter and do you see how I get the same values of A, B, and C out? But this way, I would argue, is quicker because you don't have to do things by hand. But it's very important that you just become comfortable with your CAS. Can I also talk about, just before we go here, a mistake that people often make, and that is, and you might have found that you made this mistake when you're doing it, if you don't put a multiplication sign between your B and X, it will mess it up. It confuses it. You have to make sure you got that multiplication sign between your A and X or your B and X. It needs it there. So just make sure you don't make that mistake there. All right, we're all done, everyone. Hopefully this one has made sense. I'll see you later.